Good morning, Hebrew Nation. Listen, I had a dream a little over a week ago, and I'm going to tell you about it. And I even went to Yah. I waited until I got all of it to bring it to you. So a little over a week ago, I had this dream. And I'm going to go slow so that I can get the details. I was in our house, and I heard this huge tractor trailer pull up in front of the house. So I went out on the porch, and it was parked across the street in front of my house, and like he was trying to park. And I looked up on the top of the tractor trailer where you would put the goods to ship someplace. And there was this huge red, muscular, and when I say red, I mean vivid red. I tried to find the pictures that could show you what it looked like to me. So it was just a brilliant red. And he was standing on top of the tractor trailer. And I noticed that he pulled out to park it better. And underneath the trailer, there was a dog holding on to the bottom of the trailer. And when the guy stopped the tractor trailer, the dog thought he was done and dropped off. But when he noticed that he was pulling it up, he grabbed back onto the bottom of the trailer. Nothing was in the trailer. Grabbed back onto the bottom of the trailer. And the man backed it in right, and he parked it. The horse never moved. It stood there, and I remember thinking to myself, wow, that is a beautiful, healthy horse. Let me describe to you what he looked like. He looked so sleek, like shiny, like it's almost like velvet. And he was all red. He did not have black hooves. He was all red. And I could see the muscles in his shoulders and in his legs. And I was just mesmerized at how beautiful this horse was. And it was big. And it never looked at me. It never changed its stance. It just stood there, strong and like flexed. I noticed looking at his like rib cage, and he was so perfect in his form. You couldn't see any ribs. I mean, this horse was built like a brick shit house, and I'm not even kidding you. He was beautiful. The only markings that this horse had was he had like a little bit of white mixed with I guess red around his lips. It was around the muzzle of his mouth. It did not go up his head or in between of his eyes. It didn't do anything like that. It almost looked like whipped cream mixed in with a little bit of red. So and then the dog was still on the bottom of I was looking at it from my porch, and the dog was still holding on to the trailer. So I noticed, my attention went to the guy that was getting out of the truck, and he got out of the cab. He looked like Indian descent, like India, and he was short. He had very black hair that was cut short to his head. He had the skin tone of the men in India, kind of a reddish brown. He had on a white shirt, a business shirt. I thought that was weird. He had on a white button-down shirt, no tie. It was open collar, just down to his throat. And both of his sleeves were buttoned, and he had on black pants, and he had on like loafer black shoes. And I thought that was weird because, you know, usually truck drivers don't. I'm just telling you my thoughts in the dream. They don't dress like that. But it was like we had an agreement that I would take care of these animals for him. It was like he was trying to get them someplace safe. I could feel that. So when he jumped out of the cab, I noticed what he had on, and then my eyes went to over behind this tractor trailer. And I saw these, like, very scary, huge, puffy, black, I could hardly see any gray, black clouds that were like rolling all together, like it was a huge black mass, but there was clouds within it that were like rolling towards on the other side of the tractor trailer, as if it were coming to the house. And I thought to myself, well, that's weird. When I looked around my house, the sun was shining. I could hear the birds singing. Everything was peaceful. And then I looked back across the street, and it was coming closer and closer and closer. And I was like, wow, that is going to be a bad storm. It's going to be a very bad storm. After I thought that, I saw this dog, and I got pictures to the best detail of the dog I saw in the dream. He let go of the bottom of the tractor trailer, and he came down to the ground on his feet, and he shot like he was scared to death. Shot up in the house. I was on the porch, but I remember seeing him run towards me, and I thought to myself, wow, he's wet and dirty. I wonder why he was on the bottom. And as soon as I said that, he just went right by me and ran up in our house. And then my eyes went back to look across the street, and the guy was still outside the truck, and I saw these huge, I can't even tell you what it looked like in that dream. They were scary, but I wasn't scared. I just thought it was a really bad storm coming. And about that time, I was back in the house, and I was with my family. The dog was completely calmed down and at peace, and he was laying on the floor. And when I saw the dog laying on the floor, like curled up like he was going to go to sleep, I looked around the room, and there were people that were inside of our house that we didn't know. And I did not see the horse again. I remember thinking in the dream, well, maybe he's in the backyard. And then that was all I ever thought about it, but I never saw the horse again. And I woke up, and I said, wow. Now, at first, I have to be honest. Whenever I think about an animal, I think that Yah is getting ready to bless me with it. I love animals. I think they're beautiful. And they were made for us as gifts, and we're supposed to protect them and take care of them and have respect for them because they're souls. So I immediately thought, oh my God, he's about to give me this horse that I have no place to keep, that I can't handle right now because of what we're doing for him. But and all of a sudden as soon as I realized that, I just felt like he said, no, that's no. And so I said, Father, what did that dream mean? So it was like a week and a half ago, and he just kept dropping it on me. He always just takes it like one step at a time. He never overfeeds. And so when I was sitting at the window talking to him and just being real quiet, waiting to hear from him, he said, the horse represents war, blood. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I just sat there, and I was quiet. And I said, well, Father, why did the horse have no other markings on him other than the swip of fur that was white around his mouth? What did the white fur mean? Because I've learned in my dreams that everything means something. That's why when I'm in the dream, you can tell whether it's a prophetic dream, because when you come out of it and you wake up, you remember it detail for detail. You're not sitting there saying, well, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of fuzzy. No, that is not how our Father operates, because we are lights, and he's speaking through us today to lead our people to safety. So I ask questions. I know everything means something. So he didn't give it to me. He didn't give it to me at that time. So a few hours later, I went in and I told my eldest Prince about the dream. And that's when he started, as I was telling him, he started speaking through me, like in the group conversation. And my son was saying, yep, that's the same thing that hit me too. I heard him say that too. So this is what it was. We know that the horse represents war. And I asked him, what was that around their mouth? Around his mouth, it was just like velvet. He said it's Edom. It is Edom. And I'm going to devour them. Europe. Esau. All of it. That's why I didn't have any other markings. It stands for war. The black clouds that were coming in is absolute death and destruction. So I was like, wow. Wow. So I have to stand there for a minute. So I'm processing what he said as I'm talking to my son. I said, Father, what did the dog mean? Why was it so scared? And why was it on the bottom of the thing? On the bottom of the trailer, not in the cab with the driver? What did that dog mean? And as soon as I told my son, I said, well, I don't know what the dog meant. I heard it. And he said, do you remember when I told you that there will be multitudes of Esau that will not line up with my word, just like Yehuda? They will not come to that judgment until their liberty is taken from them. Then they will come. Not because they love me, but to save their life. And they will be full of fear, just as I said. I was blown away by that. I was blown away by that. Because he speaks about it all through our Hebrew Torah, which is the Old Testament. And pretty much all of us just sat in the room, Fabian, Miranda, and myself, and just was like, wow, So I said, Father, that's the people that I saw standing in the house. He said they will ride to safety on the coattails of Yasharel, the house. They will give themselves over to it to save themselves from what's coming. That's why the dog was wet. That's why the dog was scared. That's why he was underneath the trailer. Because he'll be clinging to the house of Yasharel to save his life and his children's life. That's why I thought I was supposed to take care of the horse too. No. Whoever this is, it's somebody that delivers them to safety. Just like what Yahuwah said. So like for 2 days, I have been just going over this and over this with him. Making sure that there was nothing else that he wanted me to give to you. And once again, I never felt any fear in this dream. I knew that some shit was coming on the other side of that rig, but I wasn't afraid of it because I was in the light. You know, it was coming towards us, but I don't know. I just didn't fear it. And when it was over, bam, I was back in the house. Whatever was happening outside, Everybody was safe and sound on the inside. We were just at peace. We were just at peace. Watching it. Father, I'm just going to stand here for a second, and if I've forgotten a thing, I ask that you bring it to my remembrance and speak it through me, Yah. If I've forgotten a thing. I haven't forgotten a thing. That's everything that I saw in that dream and what he gave me as an interpretation of it. And you know what's so funny is that I'm a watcher. My job is to watch what's going on in this world so that I can connect it with what Father told us to watch for, so that we could tell the seasons and the times of our exodus. And so I watch. And I think I posted this on my Facebook wall. It was live. And there was a protest that was going on, I believe in Portland, Oregon. And the whole thing about it was that the protesters were absolutely outraged and even going up against the police officers, the public servants that they pay to make others follow the law, not just the public. But what they found out is there was a meeting going on in one of the buildings that was a public building, but the public was locked out. And come to find out, it was a meeting that was closed to the public in their public building for hearings. And these Americans said that it was their American government officials meeting with China. Let's just stand here for a minute. So they were outraged because they felt like something was going on. You have to go look at it. It's right there. It's fact checked by Yahuwah and myself. Live, real time. There's no detest in that. It would stand up in a court of law. And the protesters were very upset about it. And that's what started that off. Yahuwah said, I'm going to send nations up in here. And this is going to go down. It's going on right around us. I would rather come into these laws and up under the Father's wing on my own free will. Because if he portrayed those that latch themselves, clutch is the Hebrew word, to the house of Yasharel, that is the remnant, to dogs that did not do it while they had liberty, because they loved my laws and knew they were right and not Rome's. And then on the false Yahweh Shai, cancel that name out in Yahuwah's name. Yahusha, that simply means salvation. I'll let it stand. And then we got JC. Cancel that out in Yahuwah's name. A Messiah is just the ancient Hebrew meaning for that is the one that's anointed. That was anointed to come and be king over the house when this is over. Who was that? It was King David. JC, Yahweh Shai, cancel that out in Yahuwah's name, all of them in Yahuwah's name. He was anointed on his feet. No, King David was anointed on his head by Samuel, the crown. Do you see? Anything that has a Christ connected to it, you better get away from it. It doesn't belong to you if you're the house of Yasharel. Get away from it. You get away from the camps, because he never told you to gather yourself or join yourself to anyone. He said stay hidden. We're like hidden jewels in the mountains that they have to dig for. Don't you understand that shit? He didn't tell you to join with anybody. He said, because I have to teach you myself now. And I'm going to gather you with my armies of angels. The Keruv. He didn't tell you to join yourself to anyone. And this, not only should the word Christ, because that's still Rome's, and Rome's government. But let's talk about the fringes. Clearly states in Hebrew law that we are to make them. And they are to resemble a flower. The laws are the flower. And the fruit that grows on the back of that flower is we that obey them. And the privileges of that law and that covenant. What they have on, and they are to be blue. On four corners. The four corners of the garment. Or the coat. Or the covering. Then you have a blue border that runs all around the garment. Above the fringes. What they have on is Rome's fringes. The flag's fringes. Curtain fringes. That is not our Hebrew fringe. He said nothing about purple, any of that. The fringes are to be blue. See, you're going to know a tree by the fruit that it bears. Shit, even they told you that. And let me tell you something. If it doesn't stand up with the law, it's against the law. It's your job to learn our laws, and that is in Deuteronomy. It's your job. So that you can tell the difference between bullshit and truth. I don't care how long they parade like that. Yah and his people are laughing at them. And so is Rome. They do not fit what our laws say that our princes should be. You have people coming out of these camps. They are fowlers, snares. And if you don't know what that is, you better look it up. They are traps that Yahuwah has set to catch people and men like their princes and their elders that are teaching Yah's people Rome's lie. But telling them who they are as a birthright. But they're not bringing them out. They do the same thing as our Christian pastors did us. There's no difference. And all you have to do is go on YouTube, because Yah has brought forth princes and princesses to tell you what the hell went on up in there. Research. He never told us to gather to anyone. How do you stay out of traps like that? Snares. You stay out of them by obeying our laws and not Rome's. Yah has protection. You're the one that goes outside of it. You know, it's really funny. Let me tell you about something. Sun worship will fuck you up. Check this. I'm sure y'all know that Master Jay got arrested. He got arrested. I tried to leave in the messages little seeds because his fruit was not bearing witness to my God over here in Genesis. Number one, he had an Egyptian ankh around his neck. The same thing that the Christian cross is. So I tried to drop seeds. Nobody listened to it. And I said, well, Yah's not going to protect him. Because he still belongs to Rome. Trying to stand up with Rome. Saying that he's a Hebrew prince. No. You are not going to play in both yards. Where's he now? He was arrested. Because he doesn't belong to Yahuwah. Why? Because he showed you that he didn't. They are the very ones that are the princes that Yah said will die with the fallen angels that did this shit. Because they wouldn't come into the law. They love that shit. And you see how they're being corralled to be kept in it when this breaks off. But yeah, he was arrested for pointing his weapon on officers that were on top of the building in Louisville, Kentucky. Clearly shows him on video, and he was the only one that did it. Yah with the crooked. He is cunning. And he set him up so that he wouldn't mislead and get more princes killed. You just wake up, open up your eyes. Yahuwah will show it all to you. So I'm not going to take very long in this video. And Ezekiel 3 is coming up. But I felt like y'all was telling me I want you to release this, so this is what I did. This wee early in the morning. Don't be tricked and deceived, because if you're tricked and deceived, that means you're not chosen. Because y'all said, we are the elite. We are the luminaries of light. Because we're bringing you law. We're bringing you his word. We don't go outside of it. We live and walk and talk it. We vibe to it. It's comfortable for us. Not everyone is chosen. That's why it's not my job to go out there and get everyone. But those that he wants me to speak to, whatever he wants to say, I will be like Jeremiah. I will be like Daniel. I will be like Elijah. I will be like Ezekiel and go places that none other will go. Why won't they want to talk to me? I'm going to tell you why. And I put the invitation out there. Not a damn one of them came forth. I'm only 5 foot tall. I'm a woman. You would think they would jump at that shit. You know it, just to show them, look at my chest. Not one of them put the crown on and came from Rome. Why? See, that should tell your ass something. Why were there no Christian pastors and none of the elders from any of the camps that believe in that Christ? Because Rome cannot stand up to Yahuwah in his kingdom and his laws. They know that. They can't even defend their own books, which is very smart. And I put an invitation out there and I said, for the princes to wake up. I don't give a damn about the elders. Yah has his plan for them. Stay there. I say let Caesar have what belongs to Caesar in Rome. Give to what belongs to him. Let him keep him. But for the princes, I just said you be the judges. You be the jury. Yahuwah will be my judge and he'll be there. I'll bring his laws to prove everything they're telling you over there in Rome is a big fat fucking lie. And it is an abomination to the Most High himself, the Creator. That should speak volumes to you. But I'm going to let you make your own decision. It speaks volumes to me. I don't blame him. That is wisdom. Because Yahuwah will crush them. And they'd lose everyone that associated themselves with him. He's tearing it down now. We just get to watch. So fam, pay attention to what's coming. attention to what you're seeing. It's their turn to put on sackcloth, not ours. We are rejoicing and praising his name just like Yahuwah said. This is our time. And you have so many decisions to make with such little time to do it. But I thought I would bring you some evidence. And then when it closes, it closes. No one else is coming in, just like the ark. Yah said once it's closed, it's closed. That's when I can rest. Oh, to Yasharel. Hang on. This is going to be so beautiful. I thought the last year was awesome. Shit. Esau didn't. Edom didn't. I thought it was a great year. I've never praised him so much. And it's like he promised us, my people are going to watch this go down. Oh, yes. The remnant even gets to see how bad their daddy is. Their God up against Rome's. Because they're going to watch the punishment of the wicked. I'm going to give them a front seat. Isn't that beautiful? It's beautiful. And I'm going to recompense Esau for everything they put him through. Rejoice. Get in these laws and stay in them. Don't move unless you're in the law. And may my God, Yahuwah, bless you and yours. Until the next video or dream, shalom.